Good evening, Dread subs, Dread doms, viewers, players.
Happy September.
Any of the girls who have chosen to join us tonight. I don't know if Lauren brought them out. It's okay if not.
I did not.
Oh, and welcome,
and
also to Liv as she descends and disappears into the mist. Welcome everyone to Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. My name is Philip. I'm the Dread Master. I'm coming to you not from my usual setting. I really probably should have put this as my background, actually, come to think of it, since I'm not in my picturesque usual background. And I am joined by a group of truly delightful and wonderful players. Say good evening, players.
Good evening, players.
I am going to give a quick technical heads up to start things off tonight. I am in, as you can tell, not my usual setting. We're just kind of not winging it completely. I have a pretty good setup here. I think we'll be okay, but there is a possibility that the not typical rig that I'm on doesn't quite hold up. You know, sometimes your rig is not up to it, and then you gotta find a new rig. So please let me know if you can't hear me or anything like that. Unfortunately, I can't even monitor for some reason when I started this at this new computer. I'm not seeing the chat. I'm also gesturing, so you're gonna see me looking like this a lot more because of I have a TV as my other camera today rather than. This is all just to say, please bear with us because I'm out of town. Don't know how long this will be the case, but I didn't want to miss a Friday with some of my very favorite people.
Well, now I feel bad about missing Fridays.
Well, I am not going to. You don't need to feel bad.
You should.
But
you don't need to.
Let's just really try to not let it happen again.
Thanks, Dad.
Also, it's documented on the internet now forever that we're your favorite people.
Well, I was mainly referring to.
I think he was talking about the people in chat, not us, but you know.
And Jeremy, God, I love Jeremy. It's so fun to make Jeremy get into weird sexual situations, because I've done it in so many games, and every time he's like, "Haha, yeah, this is funny. Maybe don't do this. Maybe we have to do this next game." And I'm like, "You probably do. Sorry, buddy." I'll also do one last apology if I'm harder to hear or whatever. If there's for I know in Zoom you guys can hear me fine, but like in Twitch there may be louder ACs and things that I'm not as much in control of. So hopefully all remains well. But in any case, thank you all for being here. I can see what you're saying because I have you up on a phone, but I'll just be looking in weirder places this time. But hi, Sophia. So let's dig in. Oh, one last thing, and I'm really sorry to say this. There is something that I do not have here, and that is the Dread Clock. So I cannot tell you that the Dread Clock, I can't hold up the Dread Clock, but instead I'm going to hold up my D13 to just tell you that the stroke of 10. Yes,
you
sir.
know, I guess you would have noted it down before you left.
That's more strokes than Dracula would have allowed.
I have a spreadsheet, don't you worry. Yes, that is more strokes than Dracula would have allowed. Absolutely.
I mean, Philip, if you tell me where your secret key is, I can go to your apartment and get it and have it, and also leave you a nice upper decker.
Understood. Yeah, I will not be doing that for multiple reasons now. So there we go. But thank you. Well, let's talk a little bit about this beautiful game of ours. What has been happening in it, and I know that Zeke has actually been present, and Liv, I did in fact, although perhaps based on comments people were making right before we went live, maybe you actually wish I had not removed you from this situation, but let me get into that. So basically, Rawlings and Zeke had snuck off in the night after the sort of intense coffee house orgy where Zeke and Rawlings had taken shelter in the bathroom and done a real Raiders of the Lost Ark, but hearing version, don't listen, so they were not swept into the sort of the voluptuous dread storm that happened there. They crept away in the night and made their way to Darkmoor College, where they met Dracula and his many character brides, and Dracula, delighted to see Rawlings alive and someone else alive, basically, though he and the brides had been feeding on the people of Paradise over the past few days since people just started showing up again, he forbade his character vampire brides to feed on either Rawlings or Zeke, designating them as his like kind of agents for the daytime, basically. So unfortunately you kind of got roped into that, Zeke, but then you were given as much vending machine food as you could eat, and a safe place to sleep the rest of the night. In the meantime, Shelly, Minnie, Flick, and our dear sweet Johnny Voltage accidentally got themselves chained up in Madame Ether's dungeon, where the restraints came to life, but they managed to get themselves out by just shaking the bed really hard, chewing through the restraints, or just pulling as hard as they could. They then eventually made it to the diner, where a gentleman in a denim jacket successfully talked 3 teenagers to getting into his car to go record some album for the Stone Man, so Johnny could continue. In the meantime, however, Dracula sort of was speaking with Rawlings, telling him that was kind of a big thing going on, and Rawlings, wanting to be of service to the kind of clearly terrifying, powerful figure who had brought him back to life, be of service / not to be on his bad side, sort of kind of volunteered some information about who and where this new album might be being created, and thus he and Zeke went to the studio, arriving there coincidentally, funny how that happens, just as Shelly, Johnny, and Flick were arriving, and Minnie as well, acting like she was Johnny's girlfriend or groupie, which was really making
Muse,
which was really making the guitar furious. So Johnny laid down some tracks. Rawlings was like, this is going to be intense, but he what was it? Horniness is the mind killer. We said all sorts of horrible things. Yeah. Zeke, I elected to send you to the bathroom because I didn't want Zeke to have to participate in this without you present. So Zeke had stepped away to the bathroom right when some real stuff occurred. Minnie and Shelly went exceedingly first of all, Shelly, I think that you two are in love. Shelly and Minnie are deeply in love because Minnie introduced herself to the Stone Man, and he was trying to get her to come sit with him in the dark. But then Shelly, whom the Stone Man thinks is the manager, intervened and prevented Minnie from being presumably just, crushed like a grape by the Stone Man. So that's good times. When the music played, Rawlings, though aroused, maintained decorum. Minnie and Shelly went at it, and upon finishing the song, Johnny did somehow make love to his guitar. We didn't go into the full details of that, but that is what happened. He's in love with Elvira, his guitar. They are in a very deep relationship. Elvira is very jealous, but she loves the way he holds her by the neck and just makes her squeal. So
Johnny the acoustic?
What?
No.
No. Oh, I said no. But when that was all over, Rawlings kind of came out and grabbed. So it should be noted, Minnie and Shelly are in utter, reckless, dangerous love. Rawlings found Zeke, rushed her away, did not bring Shelly and Minnie as he feared that they would immediately be gobbled up by the character brides. Johnny laid down 2 more tracks. So Johnny played, he played Tear You Apart at the Dreams. Then he played There's a Storm in Heaven and a Party in Hell, the song he'd done the previous night. And then he played Kissed by the Mist. So the album is halfway re-recorded. So good for Johnny Voltage. Meanwhile, Rawlings and Zeke... Oh, and also, amidst all of this, Rawlings had presented himself as a representative for a possible producer or money man in the form of Dracula. Upon seeing Minnie and Shelly enjoying each other's company so greatly, the Stone Man lamented that he can't feel anything, that he is doomed to this torment. Rawlings said, perhaps my master can help with that. The Stone Man said, someone else just told me that, and it didn't work, and I am very upset with that person. But Rawlings was like, well, my master is more powerful, so let's give it a shot. So the Stone Man Rawlings left with a...
I think, to be clear, I didn't say master, I said the one I represent.
My client, my employer or whatever. But basically he said that if he can't feel again, a lot of people are going to die, that he's going to kind of be probably on some rampage if this doesn't work out. So Rawlings went off to inform Dracula of a meeting at sundown, or midnight, can't remember.
I think sundown would be a little too early, right?
Yeah. I think the Stone Man just said he'll meet him tonight in the graveyard, so we'll kind of say, at the time. And then, with Johnny Voltage playing more music and Minnie and Shelly presumably just sucking face the whole time, the day passed.
Among other things.
Well, come on, guys, come on. This is a family show. We don't need to say stuff like With that, we came to the end of our day. So now we're going to begin chapter 163 of Blood from a Stone, A Tale of Love and Dread in RPG, The Invocation. And this is truly one of my all-time favorites that we're bringing in here. As I said, we're bringing in a lot of big ones here for the end. But let me show you how to drive me crazy. Let me show you how to make me feel so good. Let me show you how to take me to the edge of the stars and back again. You've got to show me how to drive you crazy. You've got to show me all the things you want to happen to you. We've got to tell each other everything we always wanted someone to do. So with that, we are going to begin with Rawlings and Zeke. This is kind of a side-quel situation to what was going on there. You return... Well, actually, I suppose I should not assume anything. Rawlings, when you leave the studio, having successfully sort of, learned about the recording and brokered a meeting of involvement between Dracula and the Stone Man, what are you going to do at this time?
Zeke's with me, right?
Zeke is with you.
Yes, I think we should head back. Pretty beat. I believe we should head back to the university so that we can rest and inform Dracula about the meeting tonight.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Getting back to Darkmoor. Not difficult. Easily done. Upon your arrival there, you do notice that the campus is utterly dead. Not a single student. No character. Vampires up in the daylight. As you reach Holdfast Hall once again, the door is not locked but closed, and if you open it, kind of an eerie sort of shaft of light shines down into that foyer. No one is there, and Rawlings, no roll will be required with your ample knowledge of both lore and dread that these vampires are certainly asleep.
Yes, in that case, perhaps is it possible we could leave a note and then I want to stay here, but leave a note so that in case we fall asleep or something.
Absolutely. You can certainly just give a note kind of explaining what's going on. And Dan, actually, in response to that, and then you guys just want to rest, sleep a little more.
Yes.
Sounds good. Go ahead and do me a favor and roll a d13.
11.
That's ultimately the best option for what it could be. Just in terms of fun, because W comes after both of the V's. So after a few hours, kind of into the afternoon is late. The sun is still up, but it is kind of, early riser vampires may be up and about within the confines of a place. Rawlings and Zeke, you both are sort of awakened. We'll say you guys are sleeping on like catty corner couches kind of thing. So just to allow this. So Zeke, you feel this very ice cold, bony kind of tickling embrace on your face. And Rawlings, you feel it as well. Kind of running over your face.
How much power have we regained?
You guys probably would have regained about 6 power. You two, Shelly and Minnie.
Fuck yeah.
Honestly, you probably regain more than that, realistically, but we'll get to that in a moment. But as you're there, sort of these someone is stroking both of your faces in a very kind of, in a way that is very like as if presenting care, but is very menacing. Just kind of this super cold, bony, skinny finger. And as you both sort of stir, you see Wednesday Line in her kind of odd, kind of like maid's livery that she wears, but now it's sort of goth, and somehow she looks very sexy and voluptuous, even though she's literally a line. She's just kind of stroking both your faces. Thank you for leaving a note, Miss, Sir. I appreciate you being so conscientious, but I wanted you to both wake up.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you don't have to get up. I was waking you up in time, so I could just feel the blood pumping under your skin a little bit, sir.
Yeah, next time a glass of cold water will be better.
Oh no, miss, this is much better, believe me, miss. I don't like the feeling of water, but I love the feeling of your skin, miss.
No, not for you, for me. I don't touch.
Oh, you don't have to touch, miss. I'll do the touching.
No touching.
Of course, miss. She moves her hand back. My husband is very excited to speak with you about whatever you've done. He's very pleased with both of you. I'm so sorry that you cannot join us. She kind of looks at Zeke and says,
That's quite all right.
although I'm not sure you would make much of a bride, miss.
No, I would not.
Oh, that is so sad, miss. I thought that I was incredibly happy being a kitchen maid, miss, but now that I'm a bride, miss, I'm so much more satisfied.
Well, I'm not looking for satisfaction, so...
She kind of just slowly moves her finger onto Rawling's face and kind of just does this on Rawling's face some more. Are you ready to meet with my husband?
Yes, if he's up and about, yes, I can give him a full rundown of everything that transpired.
Oh, he's definitely up.
Well, yes, yes.
Sure. So she will lead you to him. Dracula is kind of reclining and oh, you know what? Dracula is in that Professor Charles, I think it was, that the professor, that kind of head professor's office where he'd been. He's kind of like you see there's like a lot of blood stains all over it, but in a kind of way where he clearly digs it. But as you sort of come in, he'll say, "Ah, I have risen early today and am most excited with anticipation. Rawlings and Zeke, it seems to me that your resurrection is paying great dividends to me. I am happy to see you both here. So, tell me what has transpired."
Well, we have ascertained the knowledge of the individual who is actively recording for the Stone Man. Is a what's the fucking name again?
Johnny Voltage?
He's a young man named Johnny Voltage.
A beautiful moniker, if I do say so myself.
Yes, he is. I mean,
cheesy.
he is.
Stoneman has panache.
Yes, I mean this Voltage is quite indeed skilled at playing the guitar. I mean, obviously, he would not be used by the Stone Man were he not. But he's recorded, I believe. I mean, we heard him record one song, and I believe that they were set to record others after we left. But the Stone Man has agreed to meet with you tonight. In the graveyard.
Ideally, we would be meeting on my turf and not his, and yet I understand a bit of deference may be necessary to massage this. You have expressed that I will do whatever I can to make this recording process go more smoothly.
Yes, I will say he is. He seems to have been. Seems cautious. He seems to have been hurt by previous business dealings, and how much does Rawlings know about the temperament of the Stone Man overall, even before interacting with him?
A good bit. You saw film 13, so you.
Yes, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with him as an entity, but he is quite irrational, driven by jealousy and spite, and while that might make it easy to manipulate him, it might also make him a bit unpredictable as a partner to deal with.
Very well. Well, go ahead, Zeke.
I don't remember. Did Zeke interact with the Stone Man? I know Etienne. Did we interact with the Stone Man?
Zeke never really did. No, it was Alice your friend, that's who Etienne popped her head. Her secret boyfriend was the Stone Man.
That's right. Okay, so I
never met the dude.
I do know that Etienne and the Stone Man have history.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just reminding myself. Thank you.
Perfect. So Dracula will say, "Well, I appreciate this insight into the gentleman I'll be meeting with for the evening. This is good to know. I will be careful in how I deal with him. Try to give him what he wants. But it seems that night will soon be upon us. We will need to go to the graveyard. I look forward to having your counsel there." He sort of turns to Rawlings and Zeke.
Just, is it...
Oh, we have to go?
Do we need to be quite in the thick of things, as it were?
Well, I would appreciate your presence there to help me sort of, work out the fine details, but if you do not wish to attend a nighttime meeting, I understand. Your area of expertise is this. He kind of gestures to kind of, like the glow behind the shuttered windows, the dying day. If you do not think you can mingle with the creatures of the night, I understand.
I mean, to be quite honest, the thing of which I'm the most concerned is that if the Stone Man is able to, if for some reason is not as genteel in his dealings, so to speak, I would be concerned. While you might be able to get away quite easily, I'm not as durable, shall we say.
He kind of turns to Zeke and says, "What of you? Do you wish to attend this meeting, or you would like to stay away from the danger?"
I'd like to stay away from the danger, man. Like, listen, I haven't met this guy, but I've met people who don't like him, and that was enough for me.
And they were dangerous.
Yeah.
Ooh, he has dangerous enemies. Who was this dangerous enemy?
The fucking angel who...
Oh, Etienne Rene. Etienne Rene is an enemy of mine as well. But unfortunately, as far as I can tell, he has done something unthinkable. I think you're muted, Rawlings, but I could tell by your facial expression you asked, what is that? As far as I can tell, Etienne Rene has escaped the DREADLANDS.
How did you...
An ally of mine, before we had formalized our relationship, heard his plea and plucked him from this place. And he has done it to 2 more souls. One, Medina Lake. And the other, Ond, a goblin creature whom you might have previously encountered as the Soldier of Fortune. They're both gone.
Fortune. What happened to the Soldier of Fortune?
That is a long story, Mr. Rollins. But there is still some daylight left, and I will share it with you. Go ahead.
Yes, I mean, no, please. I am quite curious.
So Dracula will kind of tell you the sort of broad points of all of this, but because Zeke and Rawlings, I'm clarifying, because you guys are declining a visit to the graveyard at night. We will move away from that.
We're good.
And I will cut.
These two don't fuck around.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. So basically, Rawlings, you now know kind of what he's pieced, because Dracula actually learned on story and how he was transformed, and the questing beast made him a sort of arcane thing. Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff. Alright, so we're going to cut back over to the studio. Minnie and Shelly, can you both give me... let's do, under your physical talents, give me an endurance roll. Both of you, please. D20. Also, Zeke and Rawlings, you guys didn't make it... Well, Rawlings made one sort of luck-based roll, but we didn't roll it all in your thing. Apologies. It happens sometimes. You guys are just role-playing, and it's great. Minnie, how'd we do?
16.
16.
And I am impressive.
Okay.
12.
How much, Shelly?
Yeah.
12.
12. All right. So You guys, I'll say you're pretty much hanging in there. I mean, it's been a long day of whatever it is you've been doing, but you really know one another's bodies at this point. You really get, like, you really know who you are. At times, you're not sure where one of you stops and the other begins. I would like you both to also, let's go to your mental talents and both give me a self-control. Just for the heck of it. Uh-oh. Minnie, how do we do? 13. Now, you could spend power to re-roll it, but you could also leave it there.
For, how much power? Just one?
It is 1 power to re-roll.
And which talent is this?
This is self-control.
I will re-roll.
Okay.
Roll.
Shelly, how'd you do?
I'm re-rolling because I rolled an 8, so I'm gonna re-roll. That's a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so Minnie, you don't have to spend power. You can just keep the 13. Shelly, if you want to re-roll, it will cost you 2, sadly.
Yeah, I am gonna re-roll this one because.
Alright.
And I'm sorry, it was 2.
You don't have to spend any power. You can just keep the first 13 you rolled.
Oh.
Yeah. If you want to re-roll
9,
that
at least.
1, it costs you 2.
Well, thank you.
How
At
much,
least
Shelly?
it's a 9, so at least I beat my initial roll by
You
1.
beat your
but-
initial roll. Okay, but that means that we do have a natural 13 is now resolving. So let's throw that up in chat, everybody. It is happening. It's going on the board. The dread clock increases to 11. Lauren, go ahead. Roll your D13.
Best of luck.
Wow. 8.
8? Oh, okay. So it goes. All right. Honestly,
Sorry.
a dreadstorm on the road might be a little much for me, but we'll see what happens. Minnie and Shelly, the two of you are, you've kind of just been like exploring one another in all sorts of ways, and it isn't only purely sexual. It's also some, like the idea of like running away together and like leaving this town behind, or like finding a place where it's, like people, all of the alpha kind of like, organized preppy elements that you guys share, you're really bonding over, like if you two get married, woe to your bridesmaids. Like, oh my god, there will be so many lists and organized binders and things. The point is, Shelly, you are on occasion, and Minnie, you too as well, though 13 is kind of not enough to you're certainly not overcoming this, but like Shelly, there are times where like if somebody else is looking at Minnie, you become very like possessive, you become very you're glaring at Denim Jacket Guy for a while as he's just trying to record in peace. But ultimately, those other songs go well. You can tell that the music is very good. Johnny Voltage basically collapses in the studio and just like snuggles up with, and he's kind of just like rubbing his whole body against Elvira. And Denim Jacket Guy's like, yeah, that's good, Johnny. Just rest in there, I guess. He'll kind of start smoking a cigarette and just shake his head. And they kind of look over at the two teenage girls on the ground, like, oh my god. The Stone Man goes, oh man, that sounded so good. It sounded as good as what I'll never feel. I'm aching and breaking. There's an earthquake inside me. Oh man, I'm gonna shatter if I don't get some kind of release. You two had plenty of release. He kind of just like comes and like is standing over you guys, sitting against a wall. You feel good. Did you get it worked out a little bit?
We're still trying to figure things out here, but I feel like you'll figure it out too.
Wow. Shelly, give me an interpersonal skills, because I think you believe that.
Okay, so I'm effective in ace. I rolled a 4, but what
Ace means you get to reroll that for free.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's a 16.
16 is effective. So 1, I believe that effective on that, if you look over under your facets, I don't have everyone's things up today. If you scroll over to your facets, that you can try to find effective. I think it means that you can't, even if you fail, you're not going to make the situation worse. Like, he's not going to be like, you're not going to inadvertently offend him or something. But with a 16, I think honestly the Stone Man could use that. So he kind of goes, "You really think so?"
Really do.
Oh, man. That's the nicest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Almost makes me want to fall in love with you, except I can tell you're taken.
You'll find
Minnie
the right
will-
one for you.
Like, get closer to Shelly.
There was a girl for me. It was the first girl, don't you understand? It was Wendy! Wendy! Oh, so bendy. Oh, Wendy with the raven hair. She used to sing here, and then she died.
Why'd she
was
die?
So beautiful, and then she died.
How? That's awful.
It was awful, but the how is much, much worse.
Minnie will say, Shelly, you can't just ask people how people died.
I learned about externalizing things to process feelings
Oh my god, but that's
in
also
psychology
so-
class.
I know.
Didn't you
but-
pay attention?
No. I copied off of your notes, don't you remember?
You copied me?
Well, yeah, you're really smart.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, but you can't ask that.
Oh man.
No,
So, as that goes down, the Stone Man will say, "I've got a very important meeting to go to. You guys want to come, or you want to stay here and come?"
what's your meeting?
Gotta meet a man from a record label. See if he can give me what I'm looking for. And if he can't, I'm gonna... Oh man, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be unhinged. It's gonna be... It's gonna be a lot. If I don't get what I want tonight, it's gonna be a lot.
Well, like, what is that you want?
I want what you two have. I want to touch someone. He'll actually reach out and like not. It's like in a sort of like in a fond but not even like aggressively sexual way. He'll kind of like put his hand like against your face, and like it's just stone cold. It's like cold stone creamery. You know, he's just like it's just that he's like, I just want to feel something. But I don't feel anything except on the inside. Oh man, I've loved more than anyone's ever loved.
I think, Mr. Stoneman, we're going to be here to make sure that Johnny Voltage is okay. And when you return, we're going to check in with you to make sure that things went okay. Okay?
That is so important. It's so important. That boy Johnny, so beautiful in Adonis, and he found the kind of love I wish I could. If only I could just be in love with an expensive musical instrument. I couldn't feel it, and it couldn't feel me, and we'd be on the same page. But sadly,
You could try, like, a saxophone.
no, I hate the sound of those.
Oh my god, me too.
Alright, but I'm gonna go alone. If you see me running, you should run faster, because I'm gonna be on a rampage. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna be on a rampage.
We're in your corner, Mr. Stoneman.
I'll try
Yeah.
to remember that. Remind me if I try to stomp you into jelly.
We
Okay.
just make sure to bring the peanut butter. Have a great time.
Good luck. Bye.
Peanut butter and jelly. Classic.
Peanut butter and Shelly. Because her name's
All right,
Shelly.
with that. All right, so just to be clear, Rawlings and Zeke and Minnie and Shelley have all declined to go to this meeting. Okay, I have a question now. This is a narrative question, and it works well for me either way. You're all here, and that is a beautiful thing, and I love seeing my friends. Some stuff is about to happen in a graveyard that is of deep consequence and has specifically been designed to not be predetermined by me. This is entirely up to the dice. How some things go. So, we could do one of two things. We could either go there and you all just sit here. Maybe I'll have you make some D13 rolls for me, but for the most part, we're just at a place. Or Shelley and Minnie and Zeke and Rawlings might all just wind up together, you know, at a diner or a malt shop or something. And that'll either happen off screen, or maybe I'll do a DM only session at some, you know, between now and next week, or as the game next week. Which of those do you guys want?
I kind of really want to see this.
I do too.
You just want to see it.
Yeah, we want to see it.
All
We
right.
can NPCs or something. or something.
The Philip show.
So basically, I have to say, I am kind of sad Zeke is not going, for reasons that you're going to see in a little bit.
But she wouldn't.
No, she
She'd be
would
like-
not. She would not.
Not.
Unless she had not been able to go. So,
Other of our characters would have been like, sure. Not
Yeah,
these.
the characters would have been curious. Not.
so
All my other
basically,
characters would have gone.
I'm going to avoid doing like lengthy dialogue scenes. I'll do a line here or two there, but we're going to sort of do it. So, in the dark of night, flapping of bat wings resolve into the Prince of Darkness himself, Dracula, as he lands in the graveyard, favored by this gentleman. As Dracula sort of steps in. Oh, actually, this is Zane, could you roll your D13 for me, please?
Oh, absolutely. It's a 1.
A 1. In that case, Dracula has come alone, which is not usual for him. So, Dracula arrives alone. He did not bring any of his character brides with him. He probably said, like, you guys can go have a bite in town. You know, I'll hang out here. But Dracula, with his sharp senses, Dan, would you roll for the count? D13.
5.
5. He senses something, but to his surprise, as he listens, he can't hear it, and whatever creature of the night may be out there